Welcome back, folks, to segment number 2 here. And if I recall, Terry, this first game, I had the Seahawks as my best bet last week, didn't I? No, or was it the Saints?
Seahawks didn't play last week. So
it was the
Saints.
Hard to
take them. You did have so best bets.
Who did I have?
I took Minnesota, which was bad. Dave took Navy, which was bad, and you did take the Saints.
Yep. So I knew it was an S.
Okay, so a game of interest to the panel here. We got the Seahawks going to the Eagles. The Eagles are 5-5 on the season. They're a 2.5-point favorite at home. Seahawks are 8-2 on the season. Line almost doesn't seem right, but the line this morning was 1.5. So the money's going towards the Seahawks in this game. And it doesn't matter what you have to say. I'm going to take the Seahawks in this game.
Make this quick.
I love that. That is hilarious. Okay, first of all, Dave, before you go, I have to tell you, my wife and I talked about this very game last night. She says, I have always circled the Seahawks for Terry, and I always circle the Eagles for Dave. She says, now that they're playing for each other, I don't know what to do. And she says, I do know. She went out, she got a coin, she flipped it, and it came up Eagles. So my wife took the Eagles. But now, that doesn't mean I'm going to, because the Seahawks are 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 meetings against the Eagles, and the road team is 7-3 in their last 10 meetings in this series. I'm taking the Seahawks. I still think that your quarterback is looking pretty good this year.
Hey, he's the MVP candidate, 1 of 4.
I like him. And your quarterback's not an MVP this year. 3 years ago, yes.
Boy, is that an understatement. Anyway, it kills me, but I'm taking the Seahawks. I got to win some games here. Eagles can't beat them.
Yeah, on the season, it is. I have 51, so I'm still less than 500. Dave at 55 is we were on week 11, so he's almost right there. You're at 62, so there is some distance between me and you, but you and Dave are close, and me and Dave are close. So okay, so all 3 of us on the Seahawks. Next game, we got the Broncos 3-7 going to the Bills. Would seem easy, but the Bills are 4.5-point favorite.
Broncos
at home.
have been covering some spreads.
Broncos could have won last week. Should have won last week.
Oh,
they had Minnesota beat.
This team drives me nuts. The Broncos,
20 points in the third quarter.
They're 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 road games. And the underdog in this one, which is the Broncos, is 5-0 against the spread. But on the other side, the Bills are 4-0-1 against the spread in November. I can't help myself. I have to go with the Bills. I think that Josh Allen is playing pretty damn good for the Bills. I think that team's on a roll, and I'm going to take Buffalo.
Broncos at 3-7. I think they won 2 of the last 3, so they're playing better, and they could have won
much better.
Week, but they, so it's a game I'm not crazy about. What's funny is I'm in this losers pool, which is what I should be doing in this.
We've got to create that next year.
But, what you got to do is pick one NFL loser per week, and I'm still alive after 11 weeks. This is a tough week to pick because there are teams like the Broncos, which Bills at 7-3, they should win that game. Forget about the spread, or you go down and look at the Dolphins and the Browns, but Dolphins are playing better. Your Bungles are in the next game.
I know. I'm thinking you should take them as your loser.
0 for 10. They looked better this last week. They're not going to go winless this season. They're going to win a game here in the next 6.
I do agree.
So Steelers are hurt getting to the wrong game. But anyways, this is a tough week to pick, I think winners and losers. But in this game, logic says take the Bills at home, lay the 4.5.
So Terry took the Bills.
Oh, boy, this is a scary one. Broncos, I think they played such a good game against Minnesota and come up on the short end. This week's going to be a letdown. I think the Bills take them at home. Plus, the Bills are tough at home.
I agree with you, Dave. I do think the Bills are very tough at home.
So the next game I alluded to, the Steelers are going to the Bengals. The Bengals are 0 for 10 this year. Although they could have won last week.
They looked really good last week in Oakland. I got to give it to them. And they covered. Matter of fact, Dave, when I came in, didn't you say you actually took the Bengals on the parlay?
I did take them. I had the Bengals.
Yeah,
so they covered their spread.
Yeah, they covered their spread.
All the big dogs last week covered their spreads. There's none of them pulled off a win. So, this week Steelers at 5-5 going to the Bengals. It seems like an easy pick to take the Steelers, but boy, they look bad on Monday night.
For all you Steeler fans out there, I can tell you Pittsburgh is 16-3-2 against the spread in Cincinnati. Not good for my Bengals. And another stat bad for my Bengals is they're 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 home games. But, like Terry says, I don't care what you're going to say. I'm taking the Bengals. I can't help myself.
These games going down the stretch.
I know, right?
Who knows? They did make the change of quarterback because Dalton was on the sideline last week and he's not hurt.
No, he's been on the sideline for 3 weeks.
Okay. So they're kind of getting it together, and that's what I say about the Dolphins too. Even though they've been not a good team, they're playing better as the season goes on.
Yep, I agree.
Boy, this is a tough one. I'll tell you what, I'm going to take the Bengals. I'm going to take them just because they improved last week, and I don't think the Steelers are that swift either, to be honest with
on
you.
that team.
So who'd you take, Terry? You took the
I
Steelers?
went with Steelers. You guys.
I'm not taking a money line. I'll hide behind 6.5. I'll take the Bengals there.
All right, good.
Remains to be seen if they win a game yet. There's only, 6 to go?
Come on, we can do it.
There is 6 to go. It depends on your buys. We're week 12. We go to week 17.
So I'm thinking that we're playing for the Joe Burrow or Chase Young sweepstakes.
They should. You need to
Yeah.
prove that.
Okay, last game on this segment. We got the Buccaneers 3-7 going to the Falcons 3-7. Falcons are 4.5 point favorite at home, mainly because they won a couple big games here recently. And if it wasn't for last week or the week before where they beat the Saints, they should be an underdog at home to the Buccaneers, but they're a favorite now.
All right, everybody. You all know that I cannot stand Jameis Winston. I think he's a PU quarterback, and he proves me right time and time again. Every once in a while he has a lucky game. But for the most part, he couldn't start at Lowry as far as I'm concerned. But the Buccaneers are 0-6 against the spread in their last 6 games, and the home team is 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 meetings amongst these. I'm going to take the Falcons, give the 4.5. I think they win this one handily.
I take the Falcons just because they're playing better, and again, preseason the more talented team was the Falcons.
Yes,
They've just been an
and I agree
underachiever this year.
Yep, I agree.
I'm going to take Tampa. I'll tell you why. Because Falcons they have played good the last 2 weeks, but that's as a dog. Can they handle a favorite role? I don't think so. I'm going to take Tampa.
If it wasn't for those last 2 weeks, they would be an underdog. That's what I was saying. Kind of scares me.
They kind of waited too long in the season to start winning, but anyway, I'm going to take the Bucs and hide behind the points.
But Matt Ryan's a way better quarterback than Jameis Winston, and they got Julio Jones.
They've got some talent. Again, on paper, they should be a lot better than 3-7 at this point, but it is what it is.
All right, folks, that's going to end it for segment number 2. When we come back for 3, it'll be the last 3 pro games, and then Dave, Terry, and myself will give you our best picks of the week. Welcome back, folks, to segment number 3 here, and Terry, this is 2 teams going in the wrong direction as far as I'm concerned.
Well, the Raiders are 6-4. They're
playing a lot better.
Kind of where they need to be in the playoff picture. Jets are not 3-7. Just like the 2 teams we talked about last time, both 3-7. Neither one of them are going to be in the playoffs. So Jets at home, getting 3.5 from the Raiders. We alluded to who was playing. The Bungles were playing the Raiders last week and had a chance to win that game.
Yes, they did.
So
yes, they did.
Anything can happen in the NFL. I just don't like the 3.5, and I'm going to take the Jets at home to possibly upset these guys.
All right. Once again, Terry, you're wrong.
Okay.
Here's why. Now,
that's simple.
yeah. In defense of Terry, the home team, folks, in this series is 8-2-1 against the spread. So that's good for Terry. What's bad for Terry is the Raiders are 4-1 against the spread against the Jets in their last 5 meetings. For that reason, I'm taking the Raiders all the way. And my buddy John Gruden.
You got to go back like 7 seasons to have 5 meetings between these two.
I don't
Maybe
care.
10.
It
So
still sounds good to me.
totally-
You're right, though.
I'm going to take the Raiders. I'll tell you why. Because the Jets quarterback is painful to watch. I think he's horrible. Not only that, getting back to
USC quarterback too, I might
that's
add.
true. Most of them are horrible.
They are
Anyway,
horrible.
Raiders, getting back to the Bengals thing. The Raiders would have blew out the Bengals last week. This spread would be much higher, but they played them close, so it's low against the Jets, and they're a much better team than the Jets. I'll take the Raiders.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, next game we got the Dolphins going to the Browns. So the Dolphins are 2-8, going to the Browns. The Browns are favored by 10.5.
Boy.
So, who are the Browns at 4-6 to be favored by 10.5? And again, Dolphins, just like, they were 0 for, I think, 6 or 7. They won 2 of the last 3 or 4.
Yep.
They're playing better. I'll take those 10.5 points.
Yeah, I'm with you, Terry. It's tough for the stats aren't in our favor. The Dolphins are 1-5-1 against the spread in their last 7 meetings against the Browns. Now, like Terry says, it could have been
the underdog. In the last 10 meetings, they were not an underdog, not a 10-point underdog.
You know what? You're right. But the road team in this series is 3-1 against the spread. I'm going to take the Dolphins plus 10.5. I was going to take him anyways. I think that Fitzgerald has got that team going in the right direction right now.
Well, Dolphins didn't cover last week for the first time in a month, I think. They covered three last, and then they lost last week. They didn't cover the spread last week. And I think that's going to continue. I think this is a sucker bet for you to take the Dolphins. I'm going to take the Browns. They're not that much better of a team, to be honest with you, but I just have a feeling.
10.5 is a big number for a
It is
team
a
that's
big
not
number.
that much better in the NFL. Okay, last game on the contest, we got the Saints hosting the Panthers. Panthers are 5-5. Saints are 8-2. The spread is 9.5. So another big spread. This is another potential. Should I take the Panthers as my loser in my loser pool? Seems like an easy pick, but after the Saints got beat by Atlanta, that was in that pool that I'm talking about. About half the people in that contest got booted by the Saints losing to Atlanta 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
They were a 14.5 point underdog that came out and beat them outright.
Outright, yeah. Well, who are you going to take in this one?
I'm going to listen to what you have to say first. I'm kind of on
All right, so here's the thing. The underdog in this series, which is the Panthers, is 9-1 against the spread in the last 10 meetings, and they play a lot against each other. And the Saints, well, they're 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 games overall, although the one loss was what you just talked about. For that reason, I don't think that the Panthers are going to play poor again. I think the Saints will win this game. I'm going to take the Panthers plus the 9.5. That's close enough for 10 for me to go for double digits.
So you're taking the Panthers?
I am.
9.5. Yep. Dave?
I'll go next. I'm going to take the Saints. Panthers do the same thing every year. They start off on fire. You think, hey, they're good. They should win. They're going to the playoffs, maybe the Super Bowl. Next thing you know, they're not even in the playoffs. Same story, different year. Saints kill them. I think Saints kill them.
All right, good. That's a good call.
Okay, I haven't picked yet, and I don't like the 9.5, but I'll take the Saints at home because
All right.
I don't see the Panthers.
All right, Terry, who do you like on your best bet, buddy?
Best bets. I'm going to pass the baton here. I mean, I would take the Seahawks, but that would seem like a cop-out. I don't see a truly something I'm crazy about here. I like the Bills a little bit. Of course, I like my Seahawks, and I'll probably bet on them. But as far as best bets here, nothing jumps out as being a great bet here.
Dave, do you want to go or you want me to go?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I just convinced myself. I'm going to take the Saints over the Panthers. I think that's an easy one.
All right, so
With
Davey's
9.5.
taking the Saints. All right, well, I don't think that either of my two friends here at the table are going to be shocked at this
Ohio
pick.
State.
Oh, you got it, Terry. It's going to be Ohio State. He knew it. Davey knew it. Actually, Dave, I was a little surprised. I thought you might take Penn State as your best pick.
No, I'm not that. Ohio State's a really good team. It don't even kill me to really take Penn State. I
Yeah.
was going to take Ohio State, but I'm going to take Penn State.
Yeah, I almost did that just to be contrarian. Okay, and I'll take the Seahawks. Like I said, I'm not
Okay.
crazy about any of them, but 8-2 going up against 5-5.
You
They
guys
seem to have
really
the
rub
luck
it in
this
my
year.
face. You with Penn State, you with Ohio State, you with the Seahawks. We'll see.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for me, Dave and Terry. Hey, want to thank everybody that's been coming out on Monday night. We've been having a packed house every Monday night. More giveaways this week. Come on down and enjoy us down here at
We got the Ravens-Rams. So
the
pretty good
Ravens
game.
Rams, a good one.
Game.
And it's in Los Angeles, I
Yep,
believe.
yep.
Yep, good, be a good one. Goodbye, everybody.